Alright, welcome to Doozer Shop. A little update here on the Brown & Sharpe 13 surface grinder. I'll take you over there. Last time we talked, I showed a little bit about the oiling system and how that works, and how I made new bushings in there for the shaft and new bushings for the cover. So we're focusing on cleaning up the grinder, cleaning up the ways, and I'll show you this here, and I'll come back to what I got going on here. But what I did is I took the the wheel head is off, the tower. Wave high, Lex. Boop. The tower is over there where the grinding wheel is, and this I took off. This is the swivel part, and I got it up on the hook and made it easy to take it off. And you can see underneath it's nothing special. It's just a cast iron cover. So what you end up doing is just taking the bolts out from underneath, and there's a dowel pin there, and there's a dowel pin there. To get access to all this, you have to take off a cover. Yes, see, first that comes off, and then you can take off this way cover. You can see there's some grunginess in the center there where no one was able to clean it. But anyways, take that off, and you can see there's an oil line right up there, and I'll tip it forward. It basically, the oil comes from the pump, and it goes through the cover and distributes it. It just kind of drips it on top of the cross feed there. So it basically drips it kind of in the center of the cross feed, and you can see there's some wicks there, and basically it kind of puts it in that channel, and the wicks distribute it back and forth. I pulled this apart to make sure that I get any dirt on the ways cleaned off. These are V-ways, regular V-ways, not inverted V-ways like a lathe, but just, and they're just kind of greasy. They're not really gritty, which I'm very happy to see about that. So yeah, I wanted to pull that off and just clean everything up and kind of show you. I had to, let me show you that oil line. Yeah, that oil line disconnects. There's a compression fitting, and that disconnects to allow you to take the cover off. But like I say, first you got to take off this top, I guess you'd call that a ram cover, turret cover. That's where the grinding head bolts on. So with that off, you can actually take off the ways cover, and then you can access all this stuff underneath here. What I think you got to do next, and I'm only thinking this through, is it because I think you got to unbolt the electrical panel to get that cast iron bracket off, and there's some screws behind it. So then I'll be able to unscrew the lead screw, just crank it out, and move this whole thing back and run it right off the edge when I get that electrical panel gone and this cast iron end bracket, which that bolts on as well. And of course, I can hotwire the oil pump with 120 volts AC and make sure all the oil lines are pumping. And I've been doing that and checking the oil distribution, and it bubbles up here and here and here, and over the front it bubbles up. So that's kind of cool. But that's where I'm at, making sure this thing is nice and clean, because I hate grit would be getting in the ways. Further verifying the previous use of this at Kodak Company in Rochester was grinding rubber, because all this stuff, it looks like rust, but it's like white rubber, like rubber particles. And this black grunge here on the cover for the ways, it was actually like rubber dust also. So I don't think this thing it never ground steel, to my knowledge. I'm just theorizing that it only ground the rubber rolls for Kodak. And here's the front face, and this is all I really didn't have to do nothing more than clean this, and I flushed out the bushings and everything with mineral spirits in the parts tank. So yeah, just a quick update. Like I said, the next thing I'm going to do is pull that pull that cover off the back, and so I can pull this bracket off, and then slide, uncrank the hand wheel and just move this whole carriage back. And I'm going to clean the V-ways very thoroughly. So I'm going to be doing that. Got all the oil trays cleaned out. You see that's where the 2 felt wicks are, and the supply pipe and the return scuppers in there. So I got that all cleaned out. Got my ways wiped out with a nice clean rag. I'm going to go through that again. But like I said, the table, I just threw it up on the boring mill. And the top cover, I used my hoist and just popped it off. You just be careful with the 2 dowel pins. And that aluminum thing is for the digital readout, which I unhooked. So we got a helper in the shop. We got Alexa. She is playing with, and Jovi, the dog. Alexa likes playing with mechanical stuff. She's, how old are you, Lex? 4 years old. Very good. And she drives the tractor. And maybe she'll be a YouTube sensation as of yet. So, like I said, that I took off originally, the grinder head, because it was like 2 or 3 inches taller to get in my box trailer when I moved it here. So that's why I took that off, and I got to just cleaning everything. So, and this I'm going to hoist up, and I'm going to clean the underside as well, make sure I get everything nice and clean. And I got the top of this nice and clean. There's a little bit of rust, I think just from condensation, and I got it all wiped off real well and acid etched it with phosphoric acid. And so I'm going to probably dangle this over the parts washer and clean underneath, even though it is pretty clean. I want to make sure all this is, I mean, this grinder was, like I say, only used for grinding rubber by Eastman Kodak. So, I mean, it's, after I fix these bushings that I showed in the other videos, man, this thing is going to be number 1. You can see the readout spar for the digital readout. This one's, in fine shape. The other one, I think I mentioned it. It got, someone lifted the table and kind of got it bent out of shape a little bit. But like I say, there's a wire in there that I got to resolder, and I think I can, believe it or not, I think I can fix it. If not, I think there's one on eBay for about $250, but I don't want to do that. So anyways, just a quick shop update about the grinder, showing you about the oil system and how this comes apart. Ironically, this is not in the manual. This part about taking this cover off to access these in and out ways. I got a Brown & Sharpe 13 manual, circa 1975 approximately, and then I got the one that's actually a better illustrated manual is the one for the Value Master 814, and that shows exploded views with the drag line, so it really shows you where the parts go. So so that's cool. I got it, I think, off the old woodworkingmachines.com website or oldmachinery.org website, Keith Rucker's site. So thank you there. Appreciate that for putting that together, Keith Rucker. All right, that's it for now. And Lex is the shop helper. Say bye.